Thank you so much for the kind words. Honorable Justice Massi, General Mehta, Dr. Gupta, the author Mr. Ashok Bhandari, special guests General Malik and Dr. Ranjana Malik are here, many other luminaries in the audience, family members, ladies and gentlemen. It's a very delightful occasion for many reasons. And first of all, I'd like to congratulate you all on the occasion of World Meditation Day, which may not seem very congruent to our event here today, but it is in some ways, because the United Nations has declared this day as World Meditation Day and June 21 as International Day of Yoga, mainly because of India's ethos, India's civilization, the practice of yoga and meditation, which for those who follow the spiritual path are actually one. And yoga is actually the journey for union with the higher self, and meditation is actually a part of that journey, which is very essential. A confluence of law, art and history is therefore a very apt topic to discuss today. And my congratulations to Mr. Bhandari. There is a note by General Mehta on the back of the book, which actually plays with the word Nadir. And he writes, the book has brought to the attention of 1.4 billion Indians and India lovers across the whole world that the Indian Constitution is at the nadir of written constitutions worldwide, because it marries law, art and history in a remarkable way. The point is that whatever takhallus you call it, that you take, the man himself exemplifies the epitome of energy, of knowledge, of erudition, the manner in which he explained his concept of the book in very little time, impactfully. And this is probably his, having known him a little bit, have you crossed 60 books?
No,
42 only. So only 42 books. Long way to go. And two are yet to be released, which have already been written, doubtlessly. Another 6 are underway, I guess. Not to make fun of the author at all. The thing is the zest. The first quality that he exemplifies is this zest, that eagerness, that yearning to do something more. And sure. That yearning to not rest on his laurels, but to keep on achieving something more, and that too disseminating knowledge, know-how, information, and light. Now this topic is so difficult for anyone to even attempt to write about. I mean, someone like me, Professor Saab said that I've written a few books, would write very light, humorous, motivational stuff. Attempting a book on the Indian Constitution, not in this life for me. Certainly not. And I would, as a former civil servant, I'd be very careful about even attempting something like this. But Mr. Bhandari plunges into a subject like this, and as far as I can see, it's an impeccable work in which he's researched it thoroughly. He has the support of someone like Dr. Balram Gupta, General Mehta. I mean, people with credibility, brilliance in their own fields. And to bring out these illustrations as being so vital and important to the context of the Constitution. If you look at the Constitution of India in itself, I mean, India is unimaginably complex. Was unimaginably complex even before independence and before we became a republic. It's probably become even more complicated as time has gone on. The diversity just boggles the mind. To attempt any book on India, and that too a book which is the Constitution of India, the framers, as we call them. In a quick reading, I was reading yesterday Dr. Gupta's introduction, and quickly I said farmers. I said, no, this is not farmers. This is framers of the Constitution. And for these gentlemen to have attempted something like this, and they had to, it was their job, it was their assignment, and for it to have stood the test of time, and will stand the test of time, because the early days are the most difficult. If anybody had to poke holes and find loopholes and find shortcomings and find drawbacks and find stuff or material or paragraphs or clauses which are not going to stand up to scrutiny, they would have found them by now. Haven't so many millions of, at least hundreds of thousands of legal luminaries had a look at each and every full stop and not found anything that could take away from the Constitution's brilliance, from its integrity? And India has, as I said, a mind-boggling complexity to handle at the same time. I travel a lot these days, and I quote somebody from Chandigarh who we all know, Mr. V.K. Kapoor, is the former DGP. He says, Vivek, this is India, where we are sitting having coffee and we are on the stage talking in English. He says, that is Mother India. Mother India lives in the villages, in the slums, in the trains, at the airports also nowadays somehow. Mother India is there. And this Mother India is difficult to understand even for Indians. Not to speak of anybody who comes from another land. Anyone who attempts also to understand the completeness of India will miserably fail, in one lifetime at least. And therefore, I think to bring together India in an essence, even these illustrations which are mentioned in the book have done a great, remarkable job of doing it. And if we examine them, if we look at the list of illustrations and we look at the Constitution itself, I mean, taking pot shots is very easy at anything. We used to say in the government that any file which comes to our table, we can find loopholes. RTI activists can find 100 loopholes. But the man sitting with the file knows that though it is not perfect, it is something that has to work. Perfection is not possible in any field of endeavor. So we have to keep on improving. This improvement suggested in this book is vital in many ways. And Socrates, I think, said, the unexamined life is not worth living. And an unexamined book is not worth writing. So every bit of it will be examined, and maybe somebody comes up with something which is uncomfortable at times. Because there's so many people with so many opinions. And we are part of the launch, so we will be with you if somebody does come up with anything. I'm sure everybody in the hall is here as a well-wisher of yours, the author. See, book launches are basically about the author. It's not for me or Judge Saab that people have come. It is for the author. And the author is someone who here is brave, as I said, is someone who has 42 books, and we wish him 75 books. 75 books. Oh, you are not yet 75 in age, so we wish you much more. 75 books will take a long time to write. कर चुके हैं तो कोई बात नहीं, अभी तो काफी time है. So I close here because we have luminaries on the